going to talk about how to avoid delayed flights. Now, first of all, let me just say that you cannot guarantee that you won't be hit with a delayed flight. That's not going to happen. But there are some things you can do when you're planning your travel to try to avoid delayed flights. So let's talk about, first of all, the top four, I'm looking at my notes down here, the top 4 airlines for the most delayed flights that you want to avoid. And I think most of you will be able to avoid these pretty easily in your travel. Kuwait Air. Yeah, that's number 1. Second is Laudamotion, which I've never heard of that airline in my life. Laudamotion. So don't fly them wherever you're going. Air Portugal and Air Malta. So those are the top 4 airlines. Very easy to avoid those. If you find yourself in those parts of the world flying, just use a different airline, okay? Top 3 good airlines for no delays. Now, I only got the top 3, and these aren't even American airlines. These are international airlines. Lufthansa, number 1, least delayed flights of any airline. Air Canada, also very good. Number 2, Air France, number 3. So what's one thing you can do to avoid delayed flights is avoid booking your flights on an airline that's known for delayed flights. Also, you can avoid booking on those airlines that are, or you can try to book on the airlines that are known for good times and avoid the ones that are run. Again, top 4 bad airlines as far as delayed flights: Kuwait Airlines, Laudamotion Airlines, Air Portugal, Air Malta. Top 3 best airlines for on-time, no delay flights: Lufthansa, Air Canada, and Air France. Now, what are some other things you can do to avoid delayed flights? Other than booking on the good airlines, not booking on the bad airlines, the number 1 thing you can do to avoid delayed flights, and I know I hate this rule, take the first flight of the day. Absolutely. Just like going to the doctor, you know, doctor's offices, dentist offices, they tend to get more and more off schedule as the day goes on because they have more and more crises or, you know, fitting somebody in. So if you get that first appointment in the day, you usually have a better chance of actually getting in, getting seen and getting out. Same thing with airlines. Generally speaking, the airlines, this is interesting. Weather delays are higher between the hours of 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. Okay, so you take that first flight of the day, you're much less likely to hit a weather delay. Also, as the delays pile up, and it may not even be your airline. See, people go flying, and they're flying out of Atlanta. And up in the Northeast, there's a lot of problems. And they're thinking, but I'm flying out of Atlanta. Why should that affect me? Well, because if your flight is coming in from that direction, or if it's going through that direction, the delays all across the world, but especially around the U.S., those delays affect your flight too. So it's not just the weather in your area and the area you're flying to that you have to worry about. It's all the weather, okay? So number 1, fly the good airlines. Number 2, don't fly the bad airlines. Number 3, number 1 thing that you can control, get the first flight of the day. And believe me, I hate that because when I fly, I usually fly Delta, and the first flight of the day is 6 a.m. Well, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? Except that we live 2 hours away from the airport and you need to be there an hour early. So now we're talking about leaving at 3:30 a.m. So believe me, I feel your pain. Nobody wants to leave their house at 3:30 a.m. But if you really hate delayed flights or there's some weather stuff going around, you want to make sure you get the best chance of getting where you're going, first flight of the day is your best option. Now, how would you like to know the top 5 airports with the most delays? Okay, now this is over the course of 12 months, and I want you to listen to these figures because it is amazing. If you take these figures and divide them by 12 and see how many flights are delayed at that airport every month, it's like 10,000 or more at the top. Number 1 U.S. airport with the most delayed flights, do I hear any guesses? You got it, Chicago O'Hare. So if you don't want delayed flights, try to avoid that airport. Number 2 U.S. airport for the most delayed flights, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Number 3, Atlanta, where I go all the time. Number 4, Charlotte. That was a surprise. I didn't realize it was that big of an airport. And number 5, Newark. So avoid Kuwait Airlines, Laudamotion Airlines, Air Portugal, Air Malta. Try to stay away from Chicago O'Hare, Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, Charlotte, Newark. Good luck with that if you're going anywhere cross country. And take the first flight of the day. Those are your best options for not getting your flight delayed. Now, again, just for the fun of it, Chicago O'Hare had 115,900 delayed flights in 2018. Okay, this is 2018 times. Dallas Fort Worth, 75,600. Wow. Atlanta, 75,480. So Atlanta, Dallas, pretty close. Then it drops down. Charlotte, North Carolina, 61,700. Newark, 61,300. So I hope this was a little bit helpful. If you like this button, do me a favor or take a private jet. Yes, that would be an awesome answer. That would avoid all issues except weather. You would still have weather issues. So if you like this, please do me a favor. Hit subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and please, if you have other travel questions, let me know. I would love to answer your travel questions in future videos. Now, have a great day.